Vertebrae are divided into cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, and coccygeal vertebrae. There are 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral, and 4 coccygeal vertebrae. The sacral vertebrae fuse together to form the sacrum bone, while the coccygeal vertebrae fuse together to form the coccyx bone, also known as the tailbone. Now let's take a look at a typical vertebra. In this case, a thoracic vertebra. This is the superior side, the inferior side, the 2 lateral sides, the anterior side. The vertebral body is always pointing anteriorly, while the spinous process is the posterior side. So the vertebra is divided into 2 basically. We have the vertebral body and the vertebral arch. The vertebral body and the vertebral arch, and the hole that divides them is the vertebral foramen, which is where the spinal cord passes through. In the vertebral body, the most distinct feature on the vertebral body are the demifacets, the 2 demifacets, the superior and inferior demifacets, which articulates with the ribs. Then for the vertebral arch, we have the superior articular facet, the 2 superior articular facets, which is on the articular process. Then the inferior articular facets, the 2 inferior articular facets, which are on the 2 articular processes. Then we have the transverse process, 2 transverse processes, which have on the transverse process we have articular facets on the transverse process that articulates with the tubercle of the ribs. So we have the pedicles that separates the pedicle, joins the vertebral body to the vertebral arch. Then we also have the 2 lamina. These are the 2 lamina. And then the spinous process, as I for the costal facet on the vertebral body, we have the superior costal facet and inferior costal facet. The superior costal facet articulates with the inferior articular surface of the rib or of its corresponding rib. So how do we differentiate between the thoracic, the lumbar vertebra, thoracic vertebra, and cervical vertebra? So let's identifying the bones. This is a cervical vertebra, while this is a thoracic vertebra, while this other one is a lumbar vertebra. The distinguishing feature there, the first distinguishing feature is the vertebral body. You can see that the vertebral body of the lumbar vertebra is actually larger than the rest, while that of the cervical vertebra is flatter. And for the cervical vertebra, the distinguishing feature there to look out for is the transverse foramen. The distinguishing feature to look out for is the transverse foramen. So there are holes in the transverse process. The 2 transverse processes, there are holes. So that's the distinguishing feature of the cervical vertebra. And also the vertebral foramen is triangular in shape, And looking at the spinous process, the spinal process divides into two. Is Y in shape. They say that it has a bifid spinous process. So that is for cervical vertebra. For the thoracic vertebra, the distinguishing feature is the costal facet. The costal facet. Other vertebrae do not have this costal articulating facet, because this costal facet articulates with the ribs. So other vertebrae do not have the costal facet. So these are the distinguishing feature of the thoracic vertebra. And also the spinous process. The spinous process of the thoracic vertebra is longer. It points and is longer. For the lumbar vertebra, very large vertebral body, as you can see, thicker and large. Then the spinous process is very blunt. Looking at the spinous process, it is very blunt. Then another distinguishing feature are these two processes here. These two processes known as the mammillary process. So that is those are the distinguishing feature of the lumbar vertebra.